Hi everybody, this is Jen from Cookies, Cupcakes, and Cardio.com. We have many friends, family, and viewers from the United States. So to help you guys celebrate the 4th of July, I've put together a giant American flag candy bar. The base is a chewy, crunchy cookie, and the top is a delicious candy nougat. So let's get started for this special 4th of July treat. So to make our giant candy bar, we're going to have to make something called nougat, which is the soft part of the chocolate bar. We're going to need 2 cups of granulated sugar, and we're going to need 2/3 of a cup of white or light corn syrup. We're going to need 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, half a cup of water, 2 egg whites, and some royal blue Americolor gel paste for the coloring. So that's going to be for the nougat. And now for the rest of the candy bar, we're going to be using blue and red and white M&Ms and some white dragees. These are just little small sprinkles that are round in shape. And for the cookie part of the candy bar, we're going to be using my sugar cookie recipe, and I've colored it into 2 portions, white and red, and I'll link that video for you in the description box below for the recipe for the sugar cookie. And then you're going to need a couple of cups of chocolate to cover your candy bar. Now you can use any type of chocolate that you want. I found this kind of chocolate at Target. It's 300 grams per bar, and I'm using about 3 to 4 of these bars to cover the entire candy bar. So we're going to start with the cookie base part of the chocolate bar. So I've rolled out my red portion here, about 1/8 of an inch thick for the cookie dough. And my chocolate bar is going to be about 8 inches long. So I'm just going to use my ruler here and a pastry cutter to cut that part out and make a little mark going at the 8 and at the 0. And it's about 4 inches in width. So I'm going to cut again. So this is a step that you're going to have to do for each of, you're going to roll out your cookie dough over and over and over until you get enough layers that you can start to pile up a flag. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out a whole bunch of these 8x4 pieces, and I'm going to put this onto parchment paper, and I'm going to put each piece of the flag into the fridge so it can cool for about 30 minutes, and then I'll be back to show you what to do to stack it before you cook it. So I have a section of the cookie dough rolled out. You'll have more pieces than this, but I'm just going to show you what to do next after you've got these slabs cooled in the fridge. You're just going to alternate the layers. So I'm going to put this white piece onto the red, and then I'll put this red piece back onto the white. And you'll just do that as many times as you have pieces for. And then you're going to bake them in the oven at 350 degrees for about 30 to 40 minutes. Now, if you want a really crunchy bottom to your chocolate bar, then bake it for a longer time. If you want more of a chewy bottom, then bake it for a shorter time, around the 30-minute mark. So I'm going to bake up my slabs, and then I'll be back to show you the next step, making the nougat. To start the nougat off, we're going to whip our 2 egg whites in a mixer, or you can use handheld mixers, and we're going to mix them until they are stiff. So I'm going to turn the mixer on, and I'll be back when they're nice and white and fluffy. So our egg whites are nice and stiff now, so you're going to set this aside, and we're going to put together the candy portion of the nougat. So I have a pot for the stove here, and I'm going to put in my 2 cups of sugar into the pot, and I'm also putting in my corn syrup, just like that, and my water. Now I'm going to put this onto the stove at medium-high heat, and I'm going to heat it until the mixture reaches a temperature of 248 degrees Fahrenheit, and that is called how you're going to make the candy part of this. And so I'm going to heat it up, and I'll be back when it is at temperature. So my candy is up to temperature now, and so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start to pour it in. I'm going to put this on low and slowly add the hot candy, just like this. And get it all in there. And then you're going to add your vanilla. And and a little squirt of however much blue coloring you would like. Now I'm going to turn the speed up and I'm going to let it cool down I'm going to let it whip until it starts to cool a bit and it will become a little bit stiffer than it is now. So my blue candy has thickened here, and inside of a loaf pan, which is an 8-inch loaf pan, I just have a couple of pieces of parchment which will make getting the candy out easier later. So now what I'm going to do is just pour it into here, and then I'm going to just let it sit, and it has to cool down to regular temperature. So that's going to take probably a couple of hours. So while my nougat is cooling, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just trim off the sides here of my baked cookie. So I just want to have even sides, as even as you can get them, and that's just me being really picky. So if you don't care, then you don't need to waste part of your cookie here. So I'm just going to do that to both sides, and then hopefully my nougat will be ready to be placed on top. So I have my cookie dough here, and it's sitting on top of a cooling tray, which is sitting on top of some parchment paper and a cookie tray, because that's going to catch the chocolate when we do the next step in the subsequent little clip part. So what I'm going to do now is just take my nougat that has cooled, and I'm just going to place it on top, directly on top of the cookie part, just like that, and then peel off your parchment paper. So the next step is to take your melted chocolate, and I just find the easiest way to do it is just to put a spoonful at a time on top, and then just using a offset spatula, you're just going to push it over the side, and you're going to cover your chocolate bar using as much chocolate as you want. So I have my chocolate bar covered in my chocolate, and if you work fast enough, you can probably do the next step while your chocolate is still wet, but I have some more of my melted chocolate here in a piping bag, and I'm going to use it in order to get my M&Ms to stick in the flag formation. So you just need a little bit put down there. And for the blue part, we're going to do 4 blue M&Ms here across the top, and then 6 of the red ones. So you'll put 6 across here, like I said. And then let's get these ones up here. I'm talking faster than I can put the M&Ms on. And one more little dot there. And then down the side, we're going to, let's start there, do 3 rows of blue. So 1, 2, there's our 3 rows. And then the next row will be white, and then a red, and another white, and another red. So there we go, a white and a red. So I'm going to fill in the rest of the flag, and I'll show you the next step after I've got it filled in. Once you have your flag laid out with the M&Ms, you're going to take a little bit more chocolate, and in between each of the blue parts, we're going to use a little bit of, or a little dragee here, just to imitate the flag, or the stars that you would find on the American flag. So we're just going to put those in, and then I'll be back to close the video and of course show you a cut version of the candy bar. So there you go, everybody, how to make a giant American flag candy bar. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial today, and I'd like to wish all of our American friends, family, and viewers a very happy 4th of July. Remember, if you make this giant candy bar, make sure you take a picture of it and send it to me on one of our social media sites. Those are all linked in the description box below, and also in the description box below is our version of a surprise inside American flag cake. So make sure you check that out as well. Thanks again for watching, and remember to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you again next time.